Yeah, that's right. The new season is here, and I'm super hyped for it. I gave it a couple of days before I made this video because I wanted to test everything out and gave you my thoughts thoroughly on what I think of like the map and all the changes and stuff like that. And I mean, there is so much to get through, and we're going to cover the number one topic first, the one that everybody is talking about and wants to know about, and that's the crypto change. Obviously, I'm joking. It's the map, and yeah, the map is unreal. I think it's 10 out of 10. I think it's the best, potentially the best Apex map. What I love most about it, right, is that it is so different from every other map. And I know every other map's kind of like different, but no map is like this, with all this kind of verticality and all these different like buildings that you can go in, so much height and different fights that you can, can be going off at once. You think of kind of Storm Point and even Broken Moon, and every single map, including King's Canyon and World's Edge, they've all got areas that are kind of like flat, like plain areas where you can kind of get beamed in the middle of the open. This is like pretty good in that there's cover just absolutely everywhere. Like you walk out of one POI and you never feel like it ever ends. Like you constantly feel like you're walking in like a point of interest. Like it's just forever. Like you walk in these streets that have just got so many buildings and so much going on. It's it's an absolute 10 out of 10 map. That being said, I haven't landed like properly yet at the far side of the map where that like dam is. I've only been there like once. That was like a bit of a sketchy area to land, what I found. But this area here, this is what we call Epcot, because it looks like it, doesn't it? This is like absolute fire. It's probably one of my favourite places to land. This and the one where like the big 4 high tall buildings. That is like such a cool area to fight. I like the size of the map as well. Initially, when I first saw this, I thought I'm a bit worried that it's going to be like the size of Olympus, something like that, on the smaller side. But no, it's pretty big. It's pretty goddamn huge, which I like. I like the bigger maps. It's normally it plays out a lot better when you've got bigger maps than smaller maps. Like when you play King's Canyon or World's Edge, the lobby, and especially Olympus, the lobby just dies before like ring 1 closes. It's insane, but yeah, it's a good size. My only worry is, and we'll get to this game mode later, but when we come to normal pubs of, trios or duos, whatever they choose to bring back, even if they bring quads in as well, I don't know if it's going to be too big in that, like, are we going to have a Broken Moon situation where most of the squads are dead by, round 2, and you've only got like 4-3 squads left, and you're running around in this massive map just looking for somebody. That's the only slight worry I've got, but you know what, that's something for the future. Right now, it's like I say, it's an absolute banger. I like the changes to the loot bins as well, like where they reset after round 2, and then you get like the gold ones. They tend to appear like later on, which just means like end fights are pretty interesting because everyone's absolutely kitted out of their mind. And even the red bins, you have to stand there for ages to unlock them. I haven't unlocked one to a crab yet, but I've got like a Devo. Most of the time I come across like a bow. Very rarely come across the 99 as well. It seems to be really rare to drop in my games. I don't know if anyone else has found that. But yeah, they're super good, which is needed because my only like major negative with this map is the loot is just so sparse. Like some POIs have incredible loot, like really good areas to loot, loads of bins, loads of loot on the floor and stuff like that, but there is so many where I'm running in a building and I'm coming out with like a grenade and that's the entire thing inside the building. Like, what is going on? Like, they really need to like boost the amount of loot that is on this map. It feels way too little. Most of the time you're having to kill a squad just to be able to get like enough shields or whatever to fight the next team. It's a weird situation with the loot. But you know what, that's my only real negative. The only other thing that I would say as well is the rotations on a balloon are a bit hard because everything's kind of blocked off in like walled areas, right? Because it's like these little kind of city and interchange things, which is quite cool. But if you want to balloon over something, you've got to have your balloon right next to that wall. Otherwise, you've got to fly to one of these choke areas. And there is enough places to kind of rotate out. I mean, it's your fault, I guess, if you're not looking at the map and you rotate out of the same place everybody's rotating from, and you can kind of get held in like a choke point. But yeah, it's just a minor concern, I'd say. But other than that, like, it is, absolute fire. Alright, so I mentioned earlier this game mode, and I absolutely love it. It is like 3 strikes on heat, right? You can just keep coming back. I mean, it does mean that the 4K and 20 bomb badge are a little bit, worth less than what they used to be. I mean, it's so easy to drop a 4K, and it's like, I'm probably average, I haven't checked, but I reckon I'm averaging about 2.5k damage a game. Like, I am absolutely frying in this. I feel like the SBM minute is also potentially turned off because it's an LTM. I don't know, the lobbies don't feel as sweaty, they feel so good, it feels like how it should feel to play Apex. Maybe it's because loads of players have come back to play it because, you know, this dead game has revived itself once again. Who knows? But yeah, the game mode is great. It'd be a shame when it finally goes. I don't know how long it's here for. Is it only here until Tuesday, like the end of the week? I'm not too sure, but yeah, I really like it. Like the concept. Yeah, it's just super fun to play. Super, like, you can just be aggressive. I mean, even if you want to, it's a bit of a stupid move, but you can push away from your team and just push full threes on your own if you wanted, right? It's just, yeah, there's very much kind of risk playing this because, yeah, if you get enough like kills and stuff, you kind of come back really quick with like the reses and everything. So yeah, love it. Fire game mode. Can't wait for it to return as soon as it leaves, basically. Okay, then we'll move on to the biggest thing for, I think, keyboard and mouse players, which is the removal of flinch, right? It feels so good to 1v1 someone now. Like, I seem to be winning more 1v1s than I've ever won because I'm not getting that stupid flinch where it's bouncing me all over. I can actually, like, aim and laser my shots. It is so good. Like, the only other thing that is kind of like putting me off is that I'm sometimes a bit unaware when my shield's actually being broken because yeah, like, you used to kind of get, I don't know if you used to get something with the flinch that used to tell you your shield's broken. I'm not too sure, but yeah, sometimes I keep kind of forgetting what's going on. But yeah, I love it. Love the flinch removal. It is so good to get that out of there. And then I'll quickly touch on two other things before we get onto like the main things like the weapons and legends. The bot lobby, good addition for new players. You know what I mean? They can go in and just kind of play a load of bots. I've seen some of the bots play in that mode and they are horrific, by the way. So if you are dying to those bots, they're, you know, a bit of a worry and you need to potentially play a different game. But yeah, it's a good mode to get new players started. It's good to, you know, if you could jump in with 3 friends that are brand new, you can get some movement and get used to, you know, maybe potential little wall bounce here and there or something. Yeah, it's, you know, it's a good little addition for new players and something that could hopefully welcome some new players because it's definitely something that's lacking in Apex. It's a lot of just kind of returning players that boost the player numbers up. You don't get too many new new ones that are joining the game. And then also a big shout out to what they've done with the battle pass. I think it's so good. There's like none of the crap that you used to seeing in the battle passes anymore. It's yeah, just a lot of like goodness on every single tier, right? And the fact that you get the first one for free. I mean, I spent my coins on some packs because, you know, I was thinking I'm never going to buy a battle pass again, and then they reverted the changes. And they made the battle pass free so I can buy the next one, which is incredible. And I think, yeah, the UI and everything looks really good that they've done. I think it's very easy to navigate. Yeah, it's just kind of cleaned up the whole of Apex, and it just looks proper, like, kind of solid now. Okay, so I'll quickly try and get through all of the changes in weapons and legends that I've noticed, especially anyway. So starting off with the weapons, I think the 301 is really strong now. Like, you know, all the little bits of buffing that they've done to it has made it like a proper solid AR to use again. I think the only ones that are competing with it are like the flatline's still pretty good. I know they've taken away a couple of bullets from the mags and stuff, but I've still found it to be like a solid weapon. Same with the Hemlock as well. I know there's like a slight delay, I think, is it in the burst, but it's still pretty decent to use. But for me, the 301 tops the list. And as for kind of, you know, secondaries, there is literally only the car to use. I mean, the car feels pretty good. Again, that's had some slight buffs, I think, in the magazines, like the initial start. But what else are you going to choose in terms of SMG, right? The alternator's lost the disruptor rounds. It's still good off drop, but are you taking that to endgame? Probably not. 99's in the care package. Probably the best SMG on the game, right? But again, it's in a care package, very hard to come by. And then the only other things you can really look at is like an RE45. I suppose you've got the Vault as well, which is not too bad. But like RE45, again, lost disruptor rounds, means that gun's pointless. Yeah, there's a couple of guns that have kind of been sacked off because of this update, but, you know, I don't mind mixing it up and using different ones here and there. It's just, yeah, there's not many choices in terms of secondaries. I suppose, realistically, you probably go down the shotgun route now because they have been buffed massively. Like, the PK feels so good now. Like, it hits a lot more consistently. Even the Mastiff, when you aim down sight, I've seen, like, people hit for, like, 60 when they're absolutely miles away. So, yeah, but worth keeping an eye on that with one and see if they do anything with it. But, yeah, in secondaries, I'd say the car and any of the shotguns are pretty cool. But the most cool weapon you can use is the dual P2020s. They are so good. You get not destruction rounds, you get the hammer points on them and dual wield them. They're absolutely fry. Like, they just destroy people. You could literally use them as a primary weapon. They're that good. That's what I found anyway. Like, they're insanely good. The Mozambiques, they're also pretty fun to use. I can imagine using them with Maggie's like hilariously good. I bet you can just like fly around the map and destroy people. But but I had to take some use to like getting used to, right? Like it took me ages to get used to being able to fire them because there's like a little bit of a, I don't know, it feels like there's a bit of a delay when you shoot and the kind of, you know, like the fling back of the weapon. A bit weird to use, but yeah, definitely some fun secondaries to use. Like I say, it's good to mix it up. But, you know, I think the strongest out there, definitely maybe the P2020, the car, and then maybe the PK in my mind is like they're going to be like the top 3 sidearms out there. I'd also like to touch on the LMGs because the hop up with like the shield thing, that's actually like really, really good and may lean towards kind of potentially an LMG meta, especially maybe in something like ranked. I mean, the Spitty feels super, super good. I always liked it beforehand, and now it's got the shield thing and the thing where you shoot like the hip fire and it gets tighter and tighter. That means it's like unbelievably good. I've seen some crazy stuff as well that you can do with Rev, where like obviously crouching and it comes like quicker and you're moving quicker with Rev when you crouch. So yeah, you can make some insane plays with him. And then finally, the only other things I'd say on the kind of weapon front is in terms of like carrying extra ammo, not really noticed that much. I know they up the stacks a bit. It's always welcome. I think it's good that you don't have to carry as much ammo in your inventory. You know, you could probably get with like 3 stacks of ammo or something like that instead of having 4 or something. But yeah, I've not noticed it too much. The only thing that does annoy me is the ammo running low message now that it comes up. Like as soon as you pick up a gun and like 1 stack of weapon, 1 stack of ammo, it's immediately there, just like on your screen. I don't know if you could turn it off. I haven't fully looked, but yeah, that's just something on the kind of little bit of annoying side. I'd like it just to go back to how it was. Don't know why they've put the like earlier kind of warning message in. Like you should probably know how much ammo you've got in your bag. Okay, so finally moving on to the legends. So I know Vantage has had like quite a big significant buff with like the sniper rifle. I've not personally used it yet, but there's been loads in the lobbies that I've played. Like I've seen it everywhere, and I've been hit by it a couple of times as well. And it definitely does hit a little bit closer to like a Kraber now, I feel like, especially the 2 hits. I'm pretty sure you can get like downed with like 2 headshots now or something like that. So she seems pretty cool. Rampart, massive buffs, and it's typical. As soon as I get a 4K with her, they buff her massively. I mean, she was pretty good before, but yeah, the fact that you can get rid of the walls now, so someone could literally be hidden behind your walls, like beaming you, and you could just move them, and they're just like sat in the middle of the open, which is absolutely huge. I bet there's some insane plays that people start doing with them, and then as well. So that always used to bug me about Rampart was the ult with Sheila, in that if you had like a tiny bit of ammo, let's say you had like 50 bullets in it, you had to like place it on the floor before it would then regenerate and start a new one. Whereas now you get the kind of thing with Vantage where, you know, several bullets come back at a time, like 100 at a time or whatever it is, and yeah, you could use it like throughout the game, so you could literally pretty much use it off drop. I think like after like a few seconds, like you've got enough bullets that you could do something, which is definitely handy when you can't find any like weapons or ammo lying about on this map at the minute. But yeah, that's a real cool buff. I've also played a bit of Seer, and I've noticed his buff, like with having 2 Qs, it's not too overpowerful, which is good to see. So yeah, I was worried that one would be a little bit annoying if we start going back into a Seer meta, but yeah, when I played him, it didn't seem too insane. I mean, watch like everyone in LGS start using him now, and then everyone starts using him in ranked. Let's see, but yeah, he didn't seem like too overpowered. But yeah, Crypto seems pretty cool. I saw in the video earlier that I managed to spot one of the Cryptos. You can make him out very, very lightly, and you can hear a bit of a noise when he's in his drone, when he's invisible, which is good. Because I was worried that in ranked that people would just be landing in the middle of the zone, getting the Crypto drone out, and then just sitting there, never moving all game, and just trying to get rank points. But yeah, it's good that you can kind of hear him when he's nearby, and it's also good that he pops up on scans as well. I think if Bloodhound scans him, he'll still show even though he's invisible, which yeah is super useful. But I've seen tons of Cryptos as well in the lobby, a lot of people trying it out, this invisible stuff. Again, you could probably make some insane plays. I think you can potentially pop a bat and get his drone out at the same time, so you're healing whilst you're in the drone and invisible. That seems like a pretty crazy play that you could do with him. But yeah, I like it. Again, though, it's one of those where his buff is one of those things where you then sat in his drone again. So, yeah, it's one of those where do you want to just kind of leave your duo to fight whilst you're just comming and pinging him on the drone and then potentially ulting him? Yeah, it's kind of something that I don't really like, but yeah, some teams might vibe with that. Alright, so that is my kind of overview of this season so far. Like I say, really enjoying it. I know there's a ton of other changes that I haven't touched upon, such as like aim assist, and I know they made a few changes with ranks and stuff like that, and some of the legends that they've buffed and nerfed or whatever. But yeah, they're the main significant ones that I've noticed, and yeah, ultimately I'm having a great time. I think it's like refreshed Apex and makes me want to play it like literally non-stop again. So yeah, it's great to see that even after what we in like 4 or 5 years now, this game is still doing really, really well and has risen from the ashes again. But yeah, let me know how you feel. Let me know what you think about the game and how your game's been going. But yeah, until then, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.